expert analysts and retail traders who host a number of daily webinars focusing on Forex trading. This is Dukascopy Webinars. We have a team of expert analysts and retail traders who host a number of daily webinars focusing.
Well, I can't see me. I keep on getting the same thing in a repeat, but if you're seeing me, I cannot see you. So please don't feel bad if you're not. I'm not answering you. I'm just refreshing it for a few more times here. I've been fighting with that. Videos, maybe? No. Home. It doesn't want to let me in. Let me check my... keeps on repeating on me. Anyway, if anybody can hear me, that's great. But I can't get into the Dukascopy. I can't see my chat line. So anyway, TGIM to everybody. Thank God it's Monday, and we're all here. At least I'm here. I think I'm here. Is this a dream? You never know. Anyway, that's what we're battling with at the moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my volume, and then if I maybe if I reload that totally, I should be able to see me. Can I see me? This is and I can't see how anybody can say they can see me because I can't see the chat thing. The chat thing like that. So Dukascopy Webinars YouTube. Let me go back to that. And then what I'll there I am. Here I am. Da 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 da. Okay. There we go. And it's just me watching. It's that slow. Everybody's like, "Oh, no, I see Farkash. Farkash is here. Hey Farkash, how you doing?" So, all right, that worked out all right. Now let's see what we can do about getting something on the chart here. I was wrestling with it so much I was like, "Oh my God." Herc. Okay. Let's open up. Let's do this. Let's go to Dukascopy Day in Futures. Let's go to there. And then let's see what else we got brewing on here as we speak. It's loading in. We'll put the euro up there, unless anybody wants. Oh, there's Bitcoin. I was talking with Wilco over the weekend. That's pretty cool. The fellow that's into the Bitcoin. We were talking about the Bitcoin stuff. He is definitely into all the cryptos. Anything and everything that's a crypto, he's involved in. So, it was at least we have some people we can reach out to and tell us about what they see in that universe, which is really, cool. Because he's on the front lines. He's trading these things all the time. I think he writes about them somewhere along the line. He used to be I guess once you are, you are. So he does Dukascopy webinars. He just hasn't done them in a long time. I guess that's the way to really look at it. He still does, I guess you could say. He's a Dukascopy webinar person. Does webinars on the ETFs now, and but he hasn't done them in a while. I guess that's the way we could describe it, and that's how I see it. There, thought he was some good insight on Friday, and then over the weekend he was saying, have I finally coordinated my robots to trade the cryptos? And I said, not yet, but we're getting warmer. Really haven't dedicated any real time to it because I don't follow them enough to trust where I'm receiving the data from. But that's what he's going to, in the end result, I think he'll help us out finding how to receive, some of the much more insightful information. Bitcoin, cool. Yeah, I know. And Dukascopy has it up on their thing there. Matter of fact, I could show it to you. Now, see, I've read some papers on Bitcoin fundamental valuations methods over the weekend. I really have a hard time looking down on the crypto universe. I really do. I've said this many a times. I find them equal with all the rest, and where anybody gets off claiming that they're more or less of some type of, illegitimate investment tool, I really don't. I know they're weird, in the odd sense of like, they're weird. They're a whole different genre, but I really don't have a problem with them. I think that I really think that the cryptos are a legitimate investment tool like everything else at this point. You know, I mean, we have valuations that make less sense than norm over the last decade. You know, ever since quantitative easing in 2008, I really have a hard time looking down on the cryptos and saying, "Oh yeah, they're illegitimate. You're going to lose your money." It's like, you know, I guess, you know, if you're using it like the old-fashioned metals market, and you're saying, okay, I'm using this as a flight to safety, then if you have 3% of your portfolio in that, I don't, you know, I don't know what the rub is. To me, that's okay. You know, I mean, that's just like, you know, same thing with now. No doubt that gold and silver are a very old, consistent product, and everybody can relate to them, and that I have no problem with. But still, I have a really hard time, you know, basically trying to you know, not legitimize that product. I really do. I just don't see it. So I'm a supporter of the crypto universe as far as I'm concerned. I think that they're just as legitimate as any other product out there at this point in time, solely because it's very hard to price things nowadays. And it's an impossible. You know, I mean, you know, it's drawn. You know, things are drawn from the supply and demand side of it all now. In other words, you know, if there's buyers, then there's buyers. That's it. You know, I mean, that's plain and simple. I mean, how do you measure? I mean, some of the way we measure equities today is not very solid. You know, I mean, at least as far as I'm concerned, they're not. So, you know, I just take it. I just take it that way totally. It's a legitimate product, and you know, just use the money management skills that we always talk about. Really, I mean, nothing more than that. So, all right, and try to trade them from some place that has validity in the sense of the marketplace itself. You know, that's pretty much where I begin it and end it. Now, oh, I see what's the problem here. Here we go. There we go. There we go. All right, so now, let's see. MV equals PT currency model to price Bitcoin used. Let's see. Market, what's that? Market volatility equals price. What's the T stand for? Price and time? One pricing method used, the MV. And I'm figuring MV stands for market volatility. Yeah, you could probably, you know, that would make sense if I'm trying to figure a way to measure these things in a fundamental way. Yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, that's totally legit. That makes total sense to me. I mean, you know, market volatility is a good way of measuring it. Relative, you know how I do, like when we go here, let's go over to the J4X chart. And let's put Bitcoin in there. That's the NASDAQ 100. But let's put the Bitcoin in there. And there it is right there. And you know how we use these public indicators relative to each other? I think that's the exact same way you have to look at the currencies, not the currencies, the cryptocurrencies. I call them cryptocurrencies. That's what I used to call them on the webinars. When they first started rolling along, I used to refer to them as cryptocurrencies because you know, it's not very clear. It just isn't very clear on how to. They act like a currency. They're a cross between metals and a currency. You know, I mean, it's pretty hard not to want to look at them that way. You know, that's exactly it. So that is where we are. Let's see now, and so that's where we will go. All right, now let's see. What's the last to think about? I guess, you know, when you try to figure out these, you know, these crypto products, that's, you know, I guess the other thing you can look at is where you're getting your data from. That's a real important factor, more than trying to price them, as far as I'm concerned. If you can figure out exactly where you're getting your data from, and how you know, confident that the data is accurate, and that would be through observation and so forth, then the only other thing we can do is you know, basically go with it. You know, I mean literally compared to trying to measure its volatility and so forth, is the real challenge is just to find out where you're receiving the data, how accurate the data is, and that's really the whole gig of it all, really. So that's really the story right there. That is it, honestly. I really do believe that. That's why I pay attention to Bitcoin compared to some of the other products, because Bitcoin has it's traded on an exchange floor. Let's see, right there. Just answering a text. Let's see. Let's go like this. Just have to send this email out. Right there. Doc sends this off. Where are you? So yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge of all, is just finding the data source where you're receiving it from. Let's see, monetary mass times money velocity, or I guess money velocity equals average price. Money velocity, number of transactions. Yeah, that's a good one too. If you're seeing legitimate transactions, that's a good way of measuring things. In other words, real trades, not just bids and offers that disappear. We had a problem with that with a client. They were using I'm not going to mention the service, at Chicago Quant. We had a client, and they were using a different source for futures. It was for futures. They were using a much more aggressive source. And boy, I can't tell you how many fake trades were really in there that was really irritating and really screwed up the charts. Took them like a month or so to switch to a better source. But wow, you're right. Number of transactions are real legitimate things, and they have to be transactions, not bids and offers. Bids and offers anybody can do. You put a bid in and then pull it and don't fill it. Vice versa, you put an offer out there and you don't fill it, but you're reflecting enormous amounts of size, but you're still not transacting it. Doesn't mean anything. It's the transactions that count. They always count. I agree 100%, 101%. Now, the money velocity equals average price, number of transactions. I like that combination. That's to me, that's legit. Monetary mass. I like that. That's an interesting. That is a very interesting way of looking at things, as far as I'm concerned. I like that. Monetary mass, money velocity. That is so cool, Farkesh. I will never forget that. I love that. Monetary mass and money velocity. I love that. Equals average price times number of transactions. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't say it better. I think that's fantastic. So yeah, when using these cryptos, you have to compare them. Use that formula that Farkesh put up there, and so you've got to make it relative to other competitive products and executions. Definitely, execution all the time is the real key right there. So, all right, and let's throw the Bitcoin again up on our Chicago Quant. Right, is it there? Right there it is. Yeah, it looks like an island top. Check this out. Let's scrunch this one up a little bit like that. See that? That right there looks like an island top in our work. Look this. See like that? Been in a weekly sell for a few weeks. Been in a daily sell for a bunch of days. You can see that. Showing a little green today. Yep, that's today. It's trying to lift up a little bit. Maybe it's... As a matter of fact, it expires today too. So I guess what we really should do is we should be looking at the next month, which is further down. Right there, that's the October, I guess it is. I think that's October. Yeah, Q. Let's see. So, let's see. V is October. What is Q? Let's do this. Let's go back to the other one and switch contracts to V. That's U is September. Oh, wait a minute. We're looking at September now. Okay, that's okay. So this is good for like, and then V should be in there also. I'm going to add the V and make sure it's in there after the webinar. So that's September contract. That's good. That's what we want to do is we want to see something with a little time, like 1 month. But obviously watching the front month is fascinating. So August is expiring today. Oh, maybe that's what Q is. Is Q August? I guess it is. And then let me think. If we went to insert, I guess that's what it is right there. Let's go to check the, is Q August? I think Q is August, right? Q, so U is, let's see, Robinson, is the Euro FX or futures? FX. Okie dokie. So, that is that. Let me see. I need to go and find something for Robin. It's going to be the euro, so that's pretty cool. But it's going to be in futures form. The Chicago way. Sounds like a mob movie. The Chicago way. Okay, so there we go. We can do that. We can remove that like that, and then put it in the Chicago way. I think that's a movie. That's an actual movie. The Chicago way. Let's see. 6EU0. We may not have that. Do we have that in there? 6EU. We have December of 9, December of 8. What's that? That's June. Okay, so we have to add one. Add. Futures. Euro. Look up. And then 6. This thing's going to be going out the door soon, so it's going to be spot. So there's 6 Globex. Okay. And then let's put the decks in there also at the same time. Deck right there, Globex. There we are. And close. Okay. And let's put that in there. And we're going to be looking at the Euro future instead of the spot. This is going to be interesting. And this will be almost very close to the spot too. That's the way futures work, not yen. When the futures contract, it carries a premium to them. So there it is right there. It's always magical to see how this stuff goes. 6. I always like to do that. Nothing better than doing something live. So in this case here, let's see how well in the futures. So that future went into a sell there, and then that went into a buy there, and went right back into a sell again there, and then went into a buy here, just like this is another product obviously, and then let's see, then a sell there, and then let's see, is there a buy anywhere? I guess I could throw that in as a buy, like that, and take that sell and put it back here somewhere like that, and then let's see, there's no buy there. Hasn't been in a buy for a while. Wow, the futures contract is having an issue about getting into a buy, whereas you can see it's been in a weekly buy since here. No, there we are. And I guess that's it. Wow, this is let me see what let's go to Dukascopy. Oh, so yeah, our Dukascopy is going to be spot. Something like that. Spot trades so much better. Look how well spot trades compared to futures. What an interesting vision that is, Let's go back to that again. So that's the spot. and that's what we use every day, and we talk about it. And then here is futures. Look at the sloppiness of this thing. So it went into the sell here, and it runs up. You know, in many ways, the gas 3 doesn't seem to be doing very well here, does it? Gas 5 is not exactly doing very well either, too. We're going to. I think we have to move up to a 3-5 combination, and maybe even take the 3.5, and may have to move that up. Let's see what this. Let's do some experimentation if anybody cares. Hey, MHB, how you doing? We're just doing a little viewing. It's like we're Robin at Chicago Quant needs a chart, and I'm using it as a learning thing, because look how screwed up the futures is compared to spot. Here's spot, and you see this on Dukascopy right there. There's let's move over to spot on it. You know, see how clean spot is. You know, trading spot is so much better. Let's see right here. There's spot. We follow the spot around here. I don't even pay attention to the future. So look at this. It barely touches or barely recognizes anything that's going on. Look how well it drifted up here, and it's still in a sell. I mean, that's really putrid. That's really bad. And then it finally gets into the buy out of the breakout here. But look at Dukascopy, where we were following this the euro, and it jumps into a buy here on 7/13. And let's look at the futures contract. 7/21, 7 days later. It does try to go into a buy here, but then it fails again. Does it fail again there? Yeah. No. Yeah, it fails right there. So it's not exactly the prettiest. Now I'm thinking to take the 3.5 and move it up. It must be. I'm not sure what the issue is, but it's surely not trading very well. Let's do this. Format indicator, and take this and properties and put it into reading 1 and move it up to the plot there. And then I guess if we turn off 3 like that and remove that, does it help out any more? I guess it goes into a sell here. It's a little bit better. And then it tries to go into buy but fails. And then finally, let's see, where's it going to buy here? It goes, still it's 21. I mean, look at that. I can't accept that. That's 200 pips. That's just putrid. That's horrible. And then it falls into the sell here. Look how inaccurate it is, the futures contract. That's why I don't trade the futures contract. Stay away from futures. ExxonMobil, isn't that something? Since 1929, ExxonMobil was in the Dow Jones Industrial Average as Standard Oil. Isn't that something? Yeah, that's gone for the time being. Well, we've seen other major companies do that too, like working on it. There we are. And so, IBM went in and out a few times. And, when IBM was the Apple and the Amazon of the world, so that's not too crazy, in the sense of, what's going on there. Now let's see what the parameters are of this style. Yeah, see, 5 is the histogram. And 3, the white line is plot 1. And then so when we go to gas, we turn that off. We'll read that. This is plot 4 and plot 1, and that's no better. That's just horrible. That's just horrible. I don't think there's any other way of describing it. I don't know how else to fix it, really. I mean, it's just putrid. Let me say fix this signal. But look at that. Look how bad the futures contract is following the product. I've never seen it that bad. That's horrible. Let's see, bottom, and that, and 2, and go. Now what happened there? How about, let's see. Why are we not seeing this? I'm going to go like this. I'm just going to close it and restart it. Ah! Did I do it the wrong one? No, I didn't. So now let me open that up again. So I think that's an interesting insight. Anybody out there that's trying to trade the futures contract, or in North America or something like that, or in Europe, and they're trading the futures contract, beware. That's all I can say is beware. You don't really want to be doing that. This is not at all impressive as an indicator. And I'm going to send this over to the client, and they're going to have to accept the fact that they can follow. They can trade the futures, but they have to use the spot as an indicator, because the futures contract is putrid. It's the only way to describe it. Let's do that. That, and that, and that, like that. There we are. And then it went into the sell here. Where's that? Right there. It went into the sell. It goes into the weekly sell here, and then look at it. It climbs right back up again. Oh, God. That's so bad. And I can't shrink my math down any more than I've already shrunk it down. I mean, the 3 is as low as it goes, really. I mean, at that point, you'd almost want to follow the dots, and the dots are not exactly doing the best of things either. So, I mean, it's like, wow. You know, it's wow. Wonder if we could, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to save this and send it over, but I think we just had I think that's going to be the title of this webinar even. Trading futures versus spot can be very dangerous for the futures trader. I think that's the best way to describe that. I think that's exactly what that is. I think that's a very good insight. Can't watch window behind Forex. Oh, right. Sorry about that. Here we go. Thank you for waking me up. Look at how bad that is. Look how bad that is. That is just really bad. And there's no other way of describing that but bad. Look at that. Goes into the sell here, and it still climbs. I've never seen this trade so badly. I mean, I can show you. I mean, there's stock indices and so forth. They trade excellent in the futures contract, you know. But this, let's just check the setting. Maybe it's a bad setting. I don't know. Let's check it out. All right, let's see. Not study settings. Instrument settings. That's set on 24/7. Oh, there's no way to defend it. Okay, so we'll go save, and then we will put it in. I'm going to put it down here. This thing is so putrid. I don't even want it near anything civilized. We're going to call it ZZEURFUT and save. And let's see. Let's go with. Let's see where we are. Then I got to send this to Robin now. Compose. And there. Do not trust future of euro. Give him or her both spot and futures. Attach. And attach. Where's that pathetic looking euro? There it is. All right. All right, done doing that, but I think that was a really, really good lesson for all of us. Geez, I've never, well, I would have never traded that, but, look at that. If a futures trader has never seen Doc's work on the spot or looked at J4X, my God, how bamboozled are they? They're getting their hearts ripped out. Can you imagine that the thing has been in a, look at it, you can see it there. Can you imagine the euro's been in a sell in the futures contract from here? Whoop, let's do that again. Where do we go? There we are. I don't want to advertise Microsoft. Come on, stop that. Stop that. You're tickling me. All right, look how bad that is. It's just pathetic. And look at all this. The worker's trying to press down. Just really shows you how poorly the futures traded. We should even put the December in there or something like that. Can't watch the windows behind Forex. I know. I'm sorry again. I'm going to repeat my apology, MHB. But I think that's a good lesson. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to give Robin a call during the webinar here and just mention it to him really quick. Because, I don't want that client to be fooled. I think that's like horrible. So you're going to hear a live, fast conversation about that. Hey, I just sent over the futures contract, and it's horrible. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, wait till you take a look at the charts. It's just horrible. Take a look at the spot, and then look at the futures contract and the indications and direction. It's just horrible. So if they're going to trade euro, they've got to use the spot contract to trade it. They can buy their futures. You know what I mean? They can, they want to get long. They can buy the future. The future will go up. Problem is that the indicators are just horrible in that right now.
All right.
Yep. So we'll just send him both of them every day. He can trade futures, but he's got to follow the spot to trade those futures.
All right, I get it.
Yep. Okay, doke. I'm still doing the webinar. Say hello to the world, Robin.
Say what?
Say hello to the world.
I gotta finish what I'm doing.
Roger that. Bye-bye. So there we go. Matter of fact, let's look at that even more in depth. Let's see if it was just the summer months that put that pressure on it. So here's the futures contract. Right? Is that the futures? Yeah, that's the futures contract right there. And so it went into the sell there, which is okay. I mean, that's good. You can see that did fine. It tried to go into the buy here, but it couldn't because of all this. But then, like our rule, let's see, was it like right here? Can't be the buy there, but the next day it's below. But the problem is that the white line and the histogram are still trying to hold up. And then it goes like this. For our webinar rule, it says no. And then the buy is right there at the top of this market. And then where's the sell at? Then is there a sell here? That's zeros, so it's not a sell. What's that? And that's zeros. It's not a sell, so it's still a buy. So we can basically remove these two buy signals, and then we can clean that up. It's still in the buy, and it finally goes into a sell. Where the hell does it go in a sell? Here somewhere? Yeah, I guess it's like right there. And then we can get rid of that one too, right? And then we can get rid of that cell also. Oh, this is like a nightmare. I've never seen math look so bad. What's up with this malfunctioning product? This is back in May. There's a cell over there. Wow, we've traded the futures. We followed the futures with our math in the euro. It was so much better years ago. I don't even know what Chicago's doing now with this thing. My God. It's horrible. And then where's the buy again? Buy's right there, right? That's not too bad. And then the sell is there. But look at it. It's in the sell. And it just starts to march up again. Oh, how horrible is that? Notice we would not let anything like this out the door. There's no way in the world we'd let a client use this thing. Not even in a heartbeat. Look at this. That's horrible. We're gonna have to send him 2 charts. He'll have to trade the futures following the spot, because obviously and then there's the buy there, and it goes into a sell, and then it goes into a buy there and a sell, and I guess it gets caught up to what we just cleaned up. That's horrible. I'm gonna save that. Save workspace. All right, I'm done beating up on that. Must go. All right, Farkash, catch you later, and stay away from Chicago futures when it comes to currencies. Run and hide. No, not me. Okay. All right, let's see. Where are we going for here? We'll go over to, anybody want to see anything? If not, we'll go over to the British pound. And then I don't know if I need to freak you out by looking at the British pound and seeing if it is as bad as the euro. Let's do that. Let's just for fun. Unless someone wants to see something, I think I want to do that. I want to take a look and see what the British pound future looks like. How bad or good is that? Is this some type of carry trade with the discount to cash? You know, because of the minus interest rate factor going on in Europe? I mean, I don't know what that is. Let's see. Let's make a copy of this. Let's put the British pound in there. Paste window. I've never seen anything like this. If anybody wants to see something, just tell me and I'll move away from this. I'm just going to check one more product. I just have to at this point. This is a learning lesson for traders as far as I'm concerned. Watch out steer clear of the American future contract in the euro. That's like a warning sign, Will Robinson. I see, there it is right there. Let's see how this goes. 6B. Right there. All right, now this kind of interesting is it went into the buy, I guess, just a week earlier. Like right there. Still holding up in a buy. The daily buy is there. That's not bad. The sell was here. That's okay. Let me go back into the buy there, and we'll take a look at the spot, see how well the spot was reacting. Goes into a sell and back into a buy right there. And then let's see what this does here. There's the buy. That does go into a sell there. And then right back into a buy again. Then it goes into a sell. I can grab this one here. Whoop. Well, we can leave that one because that definitely is a sell there. We can pull this one and move it over to that, right? Like right there. Sell is right there. That's a little bit better. Now, let's take a look at spot. See how well. Again, you're not seeing the chart. Where's MHB to tell me? Wake up. Move the chart. There you go. So that's a little bit better. The futures contract with cable, but that's been pretty putrid. The euro is horrible. This at least has some characteristics of success, like it caught the buy at the bottom, which makes sense. Because let's take a look at our spot. Same page even. Look how better that is. Just smoother. The spot is just smoother, isn't it? Just smoother. There's the buy there. It catches the bottom of this stuff here. The sell there. Now cable is nowhere near as bad as the euro is. I wonder if that's that might be a carry thing. I really do think that it could be. Europe with 14 trillion in minus, investments, zero interest rates or minus. It could be literally. In other words, think about it as an arbitrage. If there's a premium, I wonder if there's a premium being carried. Let's go back to the futures contract and see if there's a premium. How much is the premium? It should be zero. I wonder if it's minus since they can't exercise it. Let's see, where's that at? So that'd be 6E right there. So right now, let's see, where's the contract trading? 1943 bid. Let's put Dukascopy up there. Right there. 1941. Okay, so it's just trading at parity there. I wonder what the December contract is doing. Let's go take a look at the December contract real quick. Six E. There it is right there. Looks like the same spots in some ways. Now, it's not too bad here, but that's still like the 21st, you know. Now, let's see where the pricing's at. 60. See that right? Let's see if we can do this with you being able to see both. So we go like this. We move this over. And let's see if we can make this larger. Go like that. See that larger right there? So you can see there, that's trading at 119.68 bid. So there's 25 pips. So it's not a discounting going on because there is premium in it. Now, if I was trading a trading desk and trying to arbitrage the futures contracts, I guess I would be looking to see if I can sell the futures and buy the spot. Could be one of the only ways to actually make interest on a tool that has negative interest rates. It could be a factor of that. I never seen. I saw the futures trade so much better over the years. I'm not sure how we measure this at all. And so that's where we go. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to start looking at the rest of the marketplace. But I had to look at that. That really shook me up. It's very rare to see something so bad. You know, I don't know how else to describe that. All right, now let's jump over to the real cable right there, and you can see it's holding up. A couple days in a buy. You know, it's let's see, what is it? It's that's line 13, 7 weeks in a buy, 3 days in a buy. You can see on the spreadsheet there, holding up very well there. Let's check out the Turkish lira. I see that it has gone 2 days now in a daily sell. That's something we rarely see. 39 weeks in a buy, and 2 days in a sell. Let's check that out. Let's close this. I don't even want to think about it at this point. And we can close this one too. No, we can leave it open. And so here we are there. You can see this is the Turkish lira. Let's put that in there. And you can see we went into the sell, and we're still holding down, but it is trying to lift up a little bit today. But still got a red dot going on. And then we go over here to J4X. We'll check that out. Right there. You see that's trying to move down also on the J4X. So I saw an article about the drilling and so forth. It sounds like they're still, hey, IVB. Did you just see what we went through? We just looked at futures contracts on the euro in the United States compared to the spot, and just a horrible correlation. Horrible. Just really bad when it came to our math itself. You know, obviously they went up and down correctly, you know, following the spot, but following the futures contract, it was really bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, you missed that one. You have to check that out. It's so ugly that I don't even want to show everybody again. I'll just whine about it, and you can always check it out on the repeat. But it's just really bad. Be careful there, trading U.S. futures contracts against the spot. No, or versus the spot. In other words, if you're following indicators on the futures contract, it could be very, very a very poor indication of how to trade it. In other words, use the spot to trade analysis wise, technical analysis wise. you use the spot to trade these products, not the futures contract. Just horrible. You know what? I have to show it to you. I cannot allow it to go on. I think I closed it. No. Yeah, go back and see the video. It's the first 20 minutes. It's what we're going to label this video is watch out on the futures, trading futures technically compared to the spot. I had closed that page. I really don't even want to open it up. Want to see the peso? Or you want to see the rand or anything like that? You looking for anything particular today? We're just starting to really roll along because it was a real shakeup. Let me see what the ruble's doing. Ruble's trying to move down. That's interesting. We're still in a weekly buy for a bunch of days there. That's line, what is that? Ruble's on line 18. So ruble's been like 9 weeks in a buy from here. And it did climb up nicely. Wow, huh? Just crazy, wow. No other way to describe that. Just crazy, wow. It is a crazy wow. So, where are we at here? So I guess we can go shift over to one of the other currencies. Usually we go to the Canadian. You can see right there, Canadian's on a nice little ride south. Been in a weekly sell for a while now. What's that? 2, 4, 6, 7 full weeks going on 8. That's line 20. 7 full weeks going on 8. And a daily sell since here. Let's grab one of these and just move it over and make it red. It's been a daily sell since there. What's that? On the spreadsheet, it is 4 days in a sell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, going on a 5th. Let's see. Upload VID. What's VID? I don't know what VID is. Is that a stock or? Let's see. What is VID? And we will upload it. Yeah, just give us a text and let us know what the VID is. Which is pretty cool, you know. I'm not sure what VID is. Could be a volatility thing? Is it a volatility thing? Volatility. It's volatility. Nothing better than following volatility. I'm just waiting for IVB to tell us what VID is. Oh, video. Oh, okay, I get it. All right, I can keep on marching along then. All right, let's do this. Let's jump over to the Mexican peso. I really think the peso has been relatively calm over the months, really. You can see a lot of sideways action. I guess that North American trade deal didn't hurt it any. It has to be helping it because it went into the weekly sell here, and it's a little bit lower, which is, you know, positive for the peso, you know. And so that's a good thing. Let's see. And that has been one of the more positive things about the Trump negotiations. He does that stuff really well. There we are. And who can complain, really? The guy is he made Canada, and both of these currencies are going up against the dollar, so that's a positive thing, they're gaining in value. Their currencies are becoming more valuable. There it is there, the peso. Let's stick it on J4X. I myself keep on thinking that if they can get more law and order down in Mexico, they're going to really, they could be a much more. They could be like Canada. I mean, Canada has a lot of law and order, and there's a lot of American commerce going on in Canada. So, exploiting cheap labor is not really the best thing. Imagine if we had a competitive Mexico that was more functional. That would be, really good. Good for everybody. Good for Mexico. Good for the U.S. The whole bit. Nothing better than creative. We call it creative destruction in capitalism. What we believe is that that good companies survive and bad companies should go out of business. That type of thing. And then what happens is it opens the doorway for new entrepreneurs to to do their thing. And that is really what it comes down to. And it's a positive thing in the end result. So, all right, let's take a look at the South African rand. Let me just make sure no one is asking any questions. Nope, I don't see any questions. So let's tune into the South African rand and see what that's up to. There it is, right underneath the peso. And now that's interesting. It went into the weekly buy here, and I guess, it went into the weekly sell last week. Okay. So right there. Let's go like that. Make it wider. And there we are. So that pressure. There's the 27th, 28th. Okay. So coming in today, and what's the daily? The daily, I guess it's still in a sell from here because, see, you've got the volatility thing going on. You got the green dot and the red dot, so you couldn't put it into a buy. But it was in a weekly buy, so you couldn't be short. But then on Friday, you could be both. You could be short and, on the close of Friday. So it's actually going in the wrong way right now. It's the way it goes, traders. And we'll see if it, it's probably a sell up in here, and it'll probably try to roll over a little bit more. That means that the South African rand is actually gaining some value. And I guess that's the dollar. The dollar has been acting extremely, I guess not extremely weak, but been acting weak now for months, I guess you could say. So, that is really what's going on there. Anyway, that's what it says there, traders. Now, where do we go from here? We still have about a minute or two. We can take a look at gold this morning. See what gold's doing. We can take a look at the stock indices. I think the stock indices are still flying along on a very positive note. Now, there's gold. Gold is on the spreadsheet. That's line 6. And we're 2 days in a sell still, and we're 21 weeks in a buy. So it is really starting to flirt down. Maybe they're going to bottom it and lift. That's what we were thinking over last week. And then let's put where is it at? Right there. That's copper. Let's go to, there's gold. And we were thinking that if the white line would go through the time manifold right here on the weekly, that they might get this thing to go. And you can see how much work it has to do right here. Let's refresh this just real quick. Let's see what the gold is. Control R. And I hope I didn't drive people crazy about looking at the futures versus the spot, but when you see something like that, you've got to throw a clear warning out to traders to be careful on the, not everybody's using as good a math as I am. So you got to figure how bad is the technical analysis on the futures contract, even worse, Let's see. Nothing. Nobody's asking for anything. It's a quiet Monday, that's for sure. Let's see. So that's gold. It looks like it's trying to fight its way back up. Let's take a look at silver just really quick. And you can see silver was in a daily buy coming in on. No, see, like that. Let's just refresh that. Now it's reflecting that it's not a daily buy because it's a red and a green. So instead it's saying, today if this would close plus there, but it's not doing that at the moment. So this thing might be rolling over also at the same time. And that's crazy stuff also. I mean, it just shows you how tight all this is. I would like to see this white line make it through the time manifold and start to lift back up again before I really start to take this product serious on any buys. I think that's the best way to describe it. In other words, you see the buy signal here with the white line down and below the time manifold. Just make sure you're not short. That's all. You don't be. I wouldn't be long until I wouldn't try to grab a long until we see the white line above the time manifold, like right there. We can go back and look at this just super quick. You see here, see that it dips underneath. It's giving us a buy, like right here gave us a buy, right there, and it catches a nice little wave, and then it catches like. Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah, it's silver. So it makes $2, and then you can see silver break down again, and when we go into a daily sell here too, and it goes down, but we're still in a weekly buy, so you can't be short it. And then you can see the white line gets through the time manifold again and starts to show us some buying again. Now in this case here, it went sideways and gets a daily sell, but you can't take it because it's in a weekly buy, and then you can see it jumps right back up to it again. And since this white line is above the time manifold, I feel more comfortable. And I think that's exactly what's going on there. All right, traders. We will catch you tomorrow. And Doc saying arrivederci. And happy trails to you until we meet again. Apple Trail.